I got something new today.
Oh.
I know. Oh. All right. We're back. We are back here on the Dan's Golf World pod. Josh, I'm trying a new drink today.
What is it?
I don't know. It was in my fridge. I think my wife, she does CrossFit and stuff, and she brought it home. I've never heard of it. It's called Gillcliff. This is not a commercial at all, but it's more of an experimentation, and I'm going to take the first drink ever out of a new can of something. Be prepared.
It looks like it's either really good or really bad.
Okay, it's kind of good. You know what it tastes a little bit like? An Emergency. You know the packet, like the vitamin packet?
Yeah.
It's like citrus. It's got a little of that. I don't know, electrolytes, no sugar. I don't know. Well, usually we've got like Monster drinks here and stuff, which we're not sponsored by either. I'm kind of still waiting for some sort of like a royalty check for all the viewership we've brought to those drinks. So to prove that we don't have any sort of financial investment from Monster, here you go.
Or we could just make our own drink company like every other social media person.
Yeah, you know, it wouldn't suck to have that Prime money.
Oh, I know. Or that new age Lunchly money.
Oh, yeah. Or some Happy Dad money.
Or Have a Days.
Oh, man.
There's so many of them now.
We're missing out.
Yeah, I know. We need to get in the game.
We'll get there. How you feeling today, Josh?
I'm sore.
Yeah? How come?
My whole body hurts.
Why are you sore?
I finally golfed in like a month and a half.
Did it feel good to get back out there?
It did.
We played yesterday in the wind, heavy wind.
Brutal.
Gary joined us, of course, friend of the show.
Hey, you guys know Gary.
Of course you know Gary.
It was fun, man.
Yeah, you know, I feel like the wind was a bit punishing. It was some pretty high rate of speed wind where there were points where I feel like it was either like adding 40 yards or taking off 60 yards, and you didn't know what you was going to do.
I noticed like especially because the wind was blowing, it was a weird wind.
It was very weird.
It was like a crosswind.
Sometimes.
From north-south crosswind at times, but it seemed like when I was hitting in the south direction, so when we were hitting, I don't know where's north, right? I think north is over here.
That way. That's north, yes.
So when we were hitting this way,
yeah,
I couldn't hit straight to save my life. Like the ball just, and half the time I hit it pretty decent, where I didn't feel like I was lazy with it. It just went.
Now, I think you hit a drive that might be the longest drive I've ever seen you hit.
Oh, you're talking about on 10?
Yeah.
I paced that thing.
The wind was helping, and you were sort of playing this sort of uphill dogleg right. Everything came together. And, I mean, I don't know. I didn't check the yardage, but I think you might have been in the 300-yard range.
Hoping.
Maybe 305. I mean, it was pounded. It was, on a non-windy day, I've never hit my ball that far. And you had that little wind encouragement, and we were hitting from a place that I've never, you know, we were playing a little scramble action. We were filming. It was a whole thing. I don't know. We were hitting from a spot I've never hit from on that hole. And, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I surprised myself on that one. I was really impressed by one that happened after, too.
Yeah.
Where I was like, holy shit. I'm like, it was a small baby fade right in the middle of the fairway. And I'm like, I must take like a month and a half off a long time because I was hitting pretty good.
You'd play a grand total of like 4 rounds a year or something if you took a month and a half off. Not really. It would be a little more than that. But
no, it would be more. No, I'm excited. That kind of like brought me back a little bit because now I'm in hyper focus mode for bowling because it is bowling season.
Well, when the ADD kicks in, it's like all golf. You were playing like 3 days a week, nonstop. Now it's all bowling, just full in the zone.
Yeah, and then I started, and plus I didn't even have my clubs.
Yeah, you were using a little house set we got here.
Yeah, I was using this old driver, which my hands took a beating. Like you could see my hands now; they're a little dry, but like
the grip was like decaying and coming off. It looked like he was changing a tire.
Yeah, it was bad. I looked like a mechanic.
So we played a few holes before Gary got there, and I feel like we had one vibe going. And then when Gary arrived, I feel like there was sort of a vibe change.
It definitely switched.
Yeah, and everything got a little more aggressive. The driving in the carts got a little more aggressive.
Yeah. And
it ultimately led to a point where Josh completely fell out of the cart and was tucking and rolling down a hill.
I got thrown out of a cart. So I'm the ball picker upper because
Yeah.
Dan's usually driving. That's how it goes when you golf. You know, the passenger always picks up the balls, and I do a little scoop. I call it scoop and scoring because in football, you know, scoop and score defense. You scoop up a fumble and you run it back for a touchdown.
Never heard of that in my life, but I like the term.
And I'm going the scoop, but at the same time, Dan's turning at full speed.
Yep, pedal the metal. Go. It's like a downside hill turn, but meanwhile, Gary is coming over the hill as well.
Yeah, he's full sending it down the hill too.
And sort of the way Josh and I turn and Josh kind of tuck and rolls out of the cart, and then here comes Gary. And it was so close from not only Josh flying out of the car, tucking and rolling, tumbling sort of like Bruce Lee style, but then almost completely getting run over by Gary immediately after.
I wish we were recording.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious. But I've learned how to fall because of skateboarding.
Oh, yeah, it was. I'm not, like graceful's the wrong word. Strategic.
Yeah,
That's how it looked.
I kind of when I'm falling, I usually try to roll it. So like instead of just like falling flat.
Yeah, and like smacking.
And falling in an awkward way.
Yeah.
I kind of like try to forward roll out of everything. So like even in baseball, like if I'm like running for a ball, I catch it and I lose my footing, I just, do a little one little push and I just roll.
It's not like the soccer flop where you like flail.
That's where you get hurt.
It's more of like a tuck and roll, like a barrel roll style.
And then I watch a lot of wrestling too, and I know how to take a bump. Which is what they call it. It's when you just fall flat. You got to tuck the chin. You just fall right back and fall on your back. And I do that most of the time too when I'm falling.
Tuck the chin.
Well, if not, you're gonna bang your head and get concussed.
And there's nothing worse than when you see like somebody fall or a fall video and the head like snaps.
They get that
like
whiplash.
And then the boom right in the ground.
Nothing's worse than seeing someone get knocked out and then they fall and just.
So they're already out. Injury has already taken place, and now this is just aftermath, follow-up injuries.
Mm-hmm.
You ever play the game Red Rover when you were growing up? It was like you'd have two groups of people, like they would stand in line. You'd like team A is on that side of the gym and they're all holding hands, and then team B is on this side, all holding hands. And whoever's team was next, you'd be like, Red Rover, send Josh right over. And so then Josh, your goal was to run at this group of people holding hands and try and break through.
Do you know what? That game literally got out of style. Or like everyone stopped playing it like when I was in elementary school.
Well, I'll tell you why it went out of style. Because there was a move, and it happened to me once, speaking of getting concussed, where, what the goal is to break through their arms. So two people, you kind of pick, like, who's the weak link, and then you want to kind of burst through those two people holding hands. Well, they got a little dirty, and they went with, like, the high hands as I was coming in, clothesline me.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? I took a pair of hands right about to the neck, and it sent me straight back, and I did that whole maneuver where you, like, land on the back, and then the head sort of snaps down into a very hard gym floor.
Oh, you did it you were doing this in gym?
It was at like a youth group thing I was at. We were in like 3rd or 4th grade. I don't even know if we were supposed to be doing it. Either way, it was instant tragedy. And I was out for a few seconds.
Yeah, you're going to be out for a little bit after that. That one, that's going to hurt.
They talk about like, you only have so many sort of head injuries in your life that you can sustain, brain injuries and all that. I mean, I'm curious. Am I affected for the rest of my life from pounding my head on the gym floor that day?
I don't think from one. It's got to be.
Your one's good. Like how many free ones do you think you get?
I think you get a decent amount of them, but at the same time, usually those people that have those or like have CTE, they get concussed while being concussed. So like they almost get double. They get a concussion and they're not fully healed, and then they get another one.
Compound. That's when it gets.
That's when it gets kind of scary because I've seen a lot of concussions happen when I played football in high school.
Oh yeah,
and
dangerous sport.
Yeah, and they finally started doing protocols when I was in high school too, because that's the whole concussion movement started. Because you remember
played football?
Only my freshman year.
What position did you play?
So the way that the offense was, we had wing backs. We only had one running back and two wing backs. I was a wing back. I was a receiver. I was a starting receiver.
Okay.
So I was mostly wide receiver, but I'll play the wings. Freshman year, they had this thing called the fifth quarter where like the scrubs come in. I was the scrub quarterback.
Okay.
I played corner, safety, but I couldn't tackle. So I just told my coach, keep me on offense. I'll just catch the ball.
That's fair.
And I caught a ball and landed, and I caught it one-handed and then fell at the 5-yard line with no one there. Yeah.
Almost a highlight reel moment.
Almost. I fell. Because it's not like, what is it? Is it even in college now? It might be
NIL deals?
No. I'm saying if you fall without getting touched, you're still down.
Okay.
So in like the NFL, if you fall and you're not getting touched, you could get back up and keep going.
Yeah.
But with high school, at least, I don't know if it's like that in college anymore. You're down.
You're down.
Yeah.
You were down yesterday, but you got up pretty well.
I look back on it and I'm like, wow, that could have been really bad.
Yeah. Right, because the fall could have gone bad, but you took it well. That went okay. And then the follow-up nearly getting completely run over by Gary could have went very bad, but he stopped and turned in time.
Yeah.
It was one of those moments where you almost slam your hand in the car door, but you get it out just in time, and you can feel your life almost end, and you're just like, okay, that didn't hurt, but I'm still kind of panicking.
Do you know what else is a panic? And this is completely off topic, but it kind of goes hand in hand. You ever get dreams where you break your fingers?
No.
I sometimes have dreams where I break my fingers and I wake up the next morning freaking out thinking my fingers are broken.
Oh my God. I feel like now I'm going to have one of those.
Yeah.
I've never even thought about that kind.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's rough.
I'm going to play a pretty special golf course today.
Yeah, I know. I'm jealous.
Yeah. The last year's home of the BMW Championship. Also U.S. Open course years back. Olympia Fields Country Club.
So that thing is right down the street.
It sure is. About, I looked at the map before we got going.
20 minutes?
24 minutes with traffic right now. It's not bad.
No, not bad at all.
You know, I'm going to step up to that tee feeling like Rory McIlroy today. I actually have a video. I don't even think I've ever even posted it, but it was, remember from Full Swing Season 1, and it was Matt Fitzpatrick just smearing on all the sunscreen?
Yeah.
I was out there. He was like stepping up at the first tee of the Thursday round, and he was just smearing on the sunscreen. And I was like, I got to get a video of this. It was such like a surreal moment of like the memes all over the internet of him smearing on the sunscreen. And like, I'm watching it on the first tee, and he's just like creaming it all on.
Do you know what's funny? That he's getting, he got a lot of flack for that.
Yeah.
Like, what, you can't put sunscreen on anymore?
It's just like another thing guys aren't allowed to do. You ever see that dude who makes the videos of the list?
Yeah.
Just another thing, like, you can't wear sunscreen.
And then he starts scrolling in the video, and it's like a minute long of him just scrolling through the whole thing.
And then he lands at the bottom and just enters the next new thing that's not allowed to be done.
And some of them are absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. What I love, like, when there's, like, the video clip of, like, somebody else complaining about it to support it, you know? Yeah.
It's great. Did you see what's going on with PGA Tour?
There's some rule changes, and there's a lot of internet reaction, and even Dan Rappaport put a video out on it. But catch me up to speed. I was golfing yesterday. I wasn't connected to the news wire and everything going on.
So PGA Tour is proposing smaller fields, reduced eligibility, and eliminating Monday queues.
I don't understand why. I think the Monday queue is awesome. I really do.
I like the Monday queue.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like this like little long shot moment for the underdog to maybe make his way in to a pro tournament or back in.
These are updated to 2026, so it's not going to happen next year.
Okay,
but the year after, going away, the Sony Open. Waste Management Phoenix Open.
These are all losing their Monday queue.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Mexico Open, Cognizant Classic.
Or for me, still the Honda Classic in my heart.
PR, I don't know what that is. Punta Cana, and then Myrtle Beach, and then down to 2 spots.
All right, I will say there's only like 2 tournaments in that list that matter, but either way.
And then down the 2 spots are going to be the Valspar, Houston, and Valero.
Okay.
And then they're going to adjust the maximum number of players in the starting field from 156 to 144
Why?
to 120 to 132. So those are the 2 ranges.
I just don't understand why.
They stated it's circumstances such as daylight.
Oh, shut up.
Which is what that kind of confused me a little bit. But then the next thing is a huge thing for playoffs and throughout the season, changing the top 125 to 100 in the FedEx Cup.
So they're referring to
eligibility,
keeping your PGA Tour card.
Yep. And then there's going to be a conditional category for players 101 to 125. So there's going to be like almost a gray area field, which is
PGA Tour. What are we doing? Stop having meetings.
And then the decrease of number of PGA Tour cards. So from the Korn Ferry Tour, they have 30 now. It's going to be 20. DP World Tour is only going to get 10, and Q School is only going to get 5.
I don't understand why. Okay, daylight's an issue. We're running out of daylight. Then speed up. You know what? Here's what's frustrating. One of the leading gentlemen on the PGA Tour policy board is Patrick Cantlay, the guy who has been deemed one of the slowest golfers on the fucking planet. And now this guy determines the solution is to just kick a bunch of people out? Really?
I don't mind this.
Why?
Because, okay, think about it this way. We're tired of seeing one-off winners that only win one time on their career, and then after their eligibility is up, after that win, they're gone.
Yeah, but you know what? At the same time, why are there one-off winners when we've got these guys that are supposed to be the best players in the world?
Because the one-hit wonders, the blind squirrel always finds a nut.
So they're sick of looking stupid like 10 times a year. Being made to look like an ass clown when Jake Knapp comes out of nowhere and wins and makes them all look like big idiots.
I like it because it's a little bit more exclusive. It makes the PGA Tour
But then
more
what's the
exclusive.
argument against Live Golf then?
People are going to start going over there.
But they're doing the same thing. They're creating a limited field, less opportunity to get in. Like, the whole differentiating point was like, well, Live is just this one set field of people, and it's really hard to get in, and only a few people can qualify. That's why it doesn't deserve world ranking points, because they're just competing against themselves. They're all just kind of jerking each other off and playing on their own tour. And it's like, you're doing the same thing now.
This has been happening for a couple other sports. So this happened in bowling too. The PBA did this. So I think this is just a trend in sports because
I think this is stupid. This is so stupid.
I think it's smart.
Why? So what? We're afraid of competition? Narrow the tunnel for guys to get in? It's like what? Jordan Spieth's out getting wrist surgery, playing like garbage. Justin Thomas seemed like he took like 2 years off of the sport, but we want to make sure that these guys have a closed little tournament that they can all play in by themselves. It's like, dude, if you suck, you suck. Go get better. Like Xander Schauffele had the year of his life. He belongs in here. You know what I mean? But like, you get these other idiots who are just sucking and hardly keeping a name for themselves. And they're going to get on the policy board and they're going to keep everybody else out. I think it's stupid. You know what? I'm running for PGA Tour policy board. Vote for Dan. And I'll get in there and make some real rules. Fix everything.
Make golf great again.
Make golf. Oh my God. I don't know. I just don't get it. I mean, you know what? Maybe I'm just all flustered this morning. But I just don't understand. Like, one-off winners. Okay, yeah. Here's what frustrates me. One-off winners frustrate me because all the big-name players aren't showing up and playing well. I don't want to eliminate their competition so it puts them back at the top. If a bunch of people show up and you're not going to win, then you don't deserve to win. Not just, well, let's have less people show up and then I'll win.
Well, it also makes the guys play more tournaments. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know.
You notice, like, Rory, for example.
Yeah.
He wants to take a few weeks off.
Yeah. Like, when
Like
he gets really mad after he loses the U.S. Open by a stupid putt from 4 feet away.
Now, this gives people the incentive, like, hey, I need to play every tournament. Like, I need to get my points. I need to be in the top 100. It's not top 125 anymore. And plus, with the smaller field, it's going to make them want to play more. It's not so much so booting people. It's making all the rest of the people more motivated to play more.
Why? Because there won't be a big enough field to hold a tournament if these guys don't show up?
Because they could easily get a win.
Exactly. They could easily get a win. That's the problem. That is the exact problem. They could easily get a win. I think it's dumb. I think we need to, because here's the thing. Think about those Korn Ferry Tour players that are grinding. Honestly, guys that belong on the PGA Tour are down here scrapping on these garbage tours making no money, and they just narrowed the gap because guys who are on the PGA Tour just cut out a bunch of spots. It was voted on by guys on the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
That to me is the dumb part, is you've got the very people who are in the competition voting to eliminate their own competition.
Well, you know what that's called?
Stupid.
Money wins money.
Money wins money. I don't know. What I need is somebody who, I don't know, maybe has another point of view on this that I'm missing. And maybe I'll find it on Instagram, and maybe next week
we need to find a third party.
We need a mediator on this situation.
We need Switzerland.
Yeah, because I don't know why. It really irritates me. To think that like they're cutting the guys on the Korn Ferry Tour off at the legs. They're shrinking Q School. Q School is already one of the most difficult pathways to launch your professional golf career. And now they make it even more difficult. That's crazy to me.
Now, this might sound ignorant, but is Q School literally school?
No, it's called qualifying school, and the word school is stupid, and it shouldn't even be in there.
It's just a tournament?
No, it's a series of qualifiers, and there's stages. So you get through stage 1 of Q School, you move on to stage 2, stage 3, and it's ultimately, there's a ton of sites, and then it shrinks, and it's just a series of tournaments.
Okay, so
and
it's
each stage is a multi-day tournament. And so, you've got, it's like almost winning like a championship or making it to the top 5, top 10 of a championship, a multi-week, event that is sometimes all around the country. And then depending if you're trying to do Q School for like DP World Tour, they're all over the world.
So is it almost like the longest day in golf? But just a bigger format?
Well, the longest day in golf, you've got to play 2 rounds in one day. These are just regular tournaments. They're like a 4-day tournament. And so you'll, like, let's say your stage 1 of Q School we'll just pretend it's going to be at Olympia Fields Country Club, where I'm heading here later on today. Very excited. That would be your stage 1, and you'll play 4 days there.
Okay.
You play all 4 days, and then if you finish in the top whatever, then you get to move on to stage 2, which might not be for another month or 3 weeks out at a totally different location. And so once you move on there, then you go in, you practice, you warm up, do the whole thing, play your full tournament, play all 3 or 4 days, depending on how much, whatever it is. Now you've qualified through stage 2, and now you have to go again. And so you have people like incredible golfers. And if you don't have 3 to 4 full rounds of playing your best back to back, then you wait another year. You start over.
Okay.
Start all the way up. Do you think Rory McIlroy plays 4 of his best rounds in a row every time? No. And so you got these guys that are like trying to like break through and make a career out of this. And if they don't bring their A game back to back to back through these stages of Q School, they're not in.
Are they
and so the shrink it is crazy.
Are they all separated? Or is it like a cumulative score throughout the whole thing?
So it's about like how many spots. So let's say, I don't know. And again, I only know very little bit about this. But let's say you go to a Q School, a stage 1, you sign up. That depending on how full that stage 1 is how many spots that are potentially there to move on.
Okay.
So what some guys will do is they'll look like, hey, this stage 1 is not very full in Omaha. I might have a better shot of getting through there. So they'll travel in to go play their stage 1 there, hoping to get through. Or some guys like, they'll look and be like, man, any Q school location down near like Jupiter, Florida is a tough place to play. You have a lot of really good career golfers down there. I might go try and look for a stage 1 up in New York.
Okay.
And so they're kind of being strategic and looking at the field. So these guys, I mean, you don't think about it a lot, but there's so much back end strategy and planning to their year. Even up in all levels of pro golf, where they look at, okay, how many tournaments do I need to make it into the FedEx Cup? What are some contingency tournaments? Where am I not going to get burnt out? Even guys like, European players, John Rahm wanted to play in the Spanish Open, but he had to get so many points in the DP World Tour. So he's looking at his live golf schedule, but he knows he needs to get 3 DP World Tour events in. Which ones fit his schedule, but also does he have a likely chance of doing well? So he might play like an offbeat tournament because he can go in there and get some good points, which could move him into the Spanish Open. So it's a lot of chess pieces. And so essentially what they just did here is completely change the chessboard. And that's what's wild to me about this whole thing. And it seems to me that the benefits land for the guys at the top, not for the guys trying to get in and play ball.
Okay.
I mean, could you imagine if, the NFL just determined that only half the guys could come out of college and become pro? Like, they would train wreck the careers and dreams of so many guys who have been on this pathway to become a pro football player, and now the crowd was just cut in half. And it's like, I get terrible analogy. I don't watch football. None of this makes sense. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I don't get it. I want to hear the argument from the other side. I want to hear Patrick Cantlay get on the campaign trail and tell us why this was an important move. And I doubt he will. He doesn't sign autographs. He's mad at everybody. Who knows? Was there anything else in this new rule change we need to go over to irritate me?
No,
sorry, everyone.
The only thing left from that is just adjusting the FedEx Cup points, which they have to because of the lesser field. And all that.
Yeah.
But
whatever. You know who's probably pissed about this? Tom Kim.
He's pissed about everything lately, I guess.
Slamming the locker door.
He broke it.
Yeah. Now, did you read his apology letter?
No.
All right. You know what? I'm going to pull it up here quick and read it because
I know it's long.
Yeah, I'm maybe trying to hit through the highlights. Let's see here. Tom Kim apology letter. Let's see. I want to find this because in reading this, it felt a little bit like maybe he's saying he didn't like break it, but like it broke itself.
Yeah. He's like, it was already broke.
Yeah. Like we just like it was dangling and we had to like take it off the hinges or something. I don't know where it went. Whatever.
I'll tell you something. He's becoming an angry golfer.
He is. I think it's because he knows he's got to go to war. Or whatever, join the military, yeah.
Imagine like someone told him you got to get in that war mindset.
Dude, like, when they're like, you got the, like Tiger Woods has those killer instincts and all that stuff. And it's like, no, this is different. Like, he's got to like really join the military. Like,
I wonder like with stuff like that, I wonder if they give athletes a like easy job. You know what I mean?
Peeling potatoes?
Like not put them on the front line, but like maybe like.
Well, and also like, I don't think their country's at war. But I still feel like, when you're like in the military, you do war training.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing like practice war.
Yeah, you have to.
All right, here's what he says. Hello, everyone. There has been a lot of speculation about the incident after my round yesterday at the Genesis Championship in my home country. There has been a lot of false reporting, and I wanted to clean things up. It's important that the information comes directly from me, openly and honestly. After the loss, I was frustrated. Yes, absolutely. But I can assure you with absolute truth, I had no intent of damaging any part of the locker, not a single bit. I addressed it with the DP World Tour and the KPGA, the Korean PGA, all right, right after the incident, saying that the door came off. The door came off itself, all by itself.
How does it just magically come off?
We had to fully pull it out due to safety reasons. Oh, sorry, my Instagram opened because I clicked on it. Okay, sorry, safety reasons. I also let them know that I was willing to pay all expenses for the damage. There has also been speculation about disciplinary action. I spoke to the tour immediately after the incident. After my apology and offer to pay damages, the matter was considered closed. I'm grateful to everyone that has reached out with messages and support. Oh, messages of support. I'll learn how to read. But to them and everyone else that I may have let down, I apologize with all my heart. Love, Tom.
Some bullshit.
And listen, I honestly, like, I get it. You get mad. I've gotten mad. I've been upset before. Stuff like that happens. Do you think, okay, like, let's say you play a professional sport and you're in your home stadium and you break the door on your locker. Is there the same repercussions as there is for being a pro golfer where you're sort of visiting a golf course that isn't owned?
Yeah, you get, like, for example, going back to PGA Tour.
Yeah.
You get fined for that stuff.
PGA Tour, again, a little different because, like, we're in Chicago. The White Sox play at the White Sox baseball stadium.
Guaranteed rate.
Terrible name. It's so bad I'll never get over that. I will never.
I'll always call it the Cell. You always call it Comiskey.
Yeah. And so there it is, like, it's theirs. Like, it's there. This, like, their name is on the thing. It's like theirs. And when they come back tomorrow, it's still theirs. It's still theirs. But like the PBA, like, they're traveling around and playing sort of like as a guest at these locations. It's not like their home.
Actually, I'll be honest with you. Most of the time when they go out to these tournaments, at least one person, like a big name, is their home house. Usually, they don't plan it like that, but
Sure.
It's usually what happens.
But a non-home house guy, like, again, Tom Kim, he's visiting this golf course that happens to be holding a tournament, and then going back to next week, the public fills back in and uses the facilities. Is it the same in, like, a baseball locker room where it's like, this is their place. This is the White Sox stadium. And then somebody breaks a locker in there. Does it make news? Is there an apology letter? Like, do we get all of this sort of, like, public spotlight, or will we never even hear about it?
I think if it, say, like, I know you said, like, away, if someone was home,
Yeah.
I don't think they would do anything.
You would never know. I don't think it would hit the news.
Unless the press is in the locker room, and sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
But usually that's when everything's, like, chilled out.
Yeah.
But
even still, do you think you'd be reprimanded by the MLB? Like, is that even their, like, position to, like, the game's over, we're not playing baseball right now?
I think it's the organization. But I think the MLB might get involved if you're away and you do that. If you trash someone else's visiting,
like, we can break our stuff,
clubhouse.
you can't break our stuff.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to remember if there's any examples of people trashing stuff. I think, I know it's happened. I just don't remember what team, what year.
Yeah.
But there's times where they trash it, especially, like, well, think about it. What happens when you're away and you win, like, the pennant or the World Series? You win the American League or the National League, they're celebrating. They're spraying bottles everywhere. Yeah. I mean, they cover everything up.
Yeah,
but
it's still a mess.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they don't have to write an apology letter.
No.
Wow.
No, but I think
maybe that's it. As long as you're doing it out of joy. Like, if you win and break the locker, they're like, dude, he was good job. Like, way to go, winner.
Dude,
but if you lose and break it,
speaking of locker room stuff, did you hear about this? Like, I think it might have been like 2 or 3 years ago. All right, it could have been when I was still in college. But the Wisconsin volleyball team, the University of Wisconsin, you hear what happened with that in the locker room? Dude, so the whole team, basically, they were taking pictures of themselves in the locker room.
Yeah.
And, of course, what's going to happen in the locker room.
Yeah.
All of those pictures, and they were doing it in the hotel rooms when they traveled, all those pictures and videos got leaked.
Okay. Catch me up to speed. What were they doing?
They were just...
They're being a little risque?
They were being more than risque.
Oh, were they like
They
being
weren't-
intimate?
No.
Were they just sort of like showing off?
Yeah. It was almost like, dude, it's almost like when you're with your buddies and then someone gets, let's say someone gets pants, because guys don't really expose themselves to everyone. But it's almost like that.
And then there was a picture of that moment, and then someone else did it to someone else, and then all of a sudden everybody was doing it to everybody.
It was self-volunteered, though. It was like, it wasn't like someone went up to someone and exposed them. It's like they exposed themselves.
Wow.
It went crazy viral.
Wow.
And
a volleyball team?
Yeah.
Were they wearing those volleyball shorts?
They weren't wearing anything.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
Crazy story, right?
You know what? Here's the thing. I'm never going to look into that, and there's no chance I will ever see any of that photography work, because that sounds like it would be terrible to see. Moving right along. Wow. I did grab a few clips.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Dude, what happened to Xander Schauffele?
Oh, dude. He had a quadruple bogey at the Zozo.
He hit a quad?
Yeah.
Dude, I thought only I hit quads.
And it was a par 4, 506 yard par 4.
First of all, that is a long par 4.
Yeah.
That's really long.
He hit his tee shot left into the trees, and then he thought that he was going to be able to get it out. And overall, this is what he says. Yeah, overall, it was a pretty low stress for the most part of the day. Like 85% of the day was not very stressful. Number 9, it was an incredible spot. I wanted to take a photo. Wait, what? This is his quote, and it is very hard to read.
I think I saw this. Wasn't he like by a root of a tree?
Yeah.
And then like he took a few swipes and just missed. Like he attempted at the ball and nothing happened. The ball didn't move.
Yeah, and then costing him pretty much the tournament, basically. He was +3 after that round, which you don't see. But, it's Schauffele. He's not going to hold it against him.
If you think about it, let's just say they limited the field to like 7 guys. He still could have done well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe they stick with that and just keep kicking people out. And then even if he plays bad, he'll still do well. So that'd be good for him.
It's Schauffele, man.
I like him. I'm not mad at him at all of this.
You want me to open up these clips?
Yeah, okay. First one I titled, Who Is This?
Who is this?
Yeah, I'd like everybody to know a lot of the clips that make it to the show generally come from when I'm sitting on the toilet. And
oh, no.
Who is this?
It's Chanel West Coast,
How?
dog.
Dude, I've watched that show for years. How in the world is this Chanel?
I think they're going to see that I'm a really great friend.
The voice
and I'm
is
super
her.
down
I
to
thought
earth.
this was AI.
I am a celebrity. I do have that very glam Hollywood lifestyle, but like my friend.
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be mean here. What does that second comment say?
She thinks she's a celebrity?
I'm sorry, up one. I thought that
Who is this guy? You got to remember, though, I think she might have got some work done. And she's getting older. I mean, you got to think about how old all these shows are. How old's Fantasy Factory? How old is
all
it
right,
been?
would you
has it-
just Google fresh tab Chanel West Coast photos, and I just want to see like if my memory is correct or not.
How do you spell Chanel?
I don't know. Let Google fix it. There you go. It already came up for you.
Chanel West Coast.
Oh, all right. Go to images. Let's do an image search here. Maybe I haven't seen the show in a while because there's a lot of pictures here I don't recognize. See, like, okay, over there in the block, that's who I know.
Yeah, she's not
Was that like
blonde.
100 years ago? Is that the problem?
This had to be in like 2009.
See, like, I guess maybe, and that's the problem. Like, that's the only version that I like even remember.
You're used to the blonde version.
Yeah, like Fantasy Factory days when that show was like still like new, like the season 2.
What
or
a money
whatever.
grab for Rob Dyrdek, though.
Oh my God.
Any brand that he wanted to make, he made there and just had it all advertised.
Yeah, he owned all the on-screen advertising and let them sell the commercial spots, and he did not care.
But yeah, she's just getting older, dog.
All right, it's fine. I just, you know what? I looked at that and I heard the voice and I was like, wait, why do I recognize the sound of this person? Because I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Chanel.
All right, I take it back. I'm sorry. You know, I didn't mean to be rude. I was just
can't
trying to
believe you
figure
didn't
out.
know. Did you not know who that is?
No, I swear on my life. I was like looking at this going, why do I recognize this voice?
Wow. That's nuts.
Maybe it's the brown hair.
Oh, you could pause on here. I didn't know you could pause on
we
Instagram.
got pause back?
We got pause.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, next one. Josh, I want to know, would you try this and how would it go? Very curious.
All right, I gotta slide this over.
Oh boy. You got to refresh this one. Started back from the top.
Refresh.
Turn the sound on.
No, it's Jack.
No, it isn't. Someone named Rachel is calling your phone right now.
No, it's Jack.
Who is she?
Answer it. It's Jack.
Oh, it is? Okay, let's see. Hello? Oh, hi, Jack. Yeah, here he is. Why is Jack's name Rachel on your phone?
Because if it said Jack was calling, then you wouldn't have brought me my phone, would you?
Would you try it? How would that go?
That would not go well.
Of course, you're in the dating scene. You've been in a relationship for quite some time. I won't get into too many of your personal details, but I'm curious.
Almost 2 years.
At this stage in the game, how would that game go for you?
I think now she would think I'm messing with her,
Yeah.
but I ain't crossing that line.
Yeah.
That one's tough. That's a tough one.
What? Okay. All right. Just run me through a quick scenario. First things first, your phone's in another room. It rings and it just says like a random girl's name. Do you think that starts a war?
No,
Or like
no.
people can call. It could be anybody.
That actually happened to me
Okay.
a couple days ago. Like, I think it was one of those party games that they were all playing because it was a group of my old friends in college
Yeah.
that I bowled with. I get a FaceTime call out of nowhere.
Oh no.
I'm like,
Was it a female's name or a number?
Yeah, it was one of the girls said she was part of our friend group in college.
Okay.
And she calls me. I'm like, yo, what? Are you good? Like, what? Everything all good? She's like, no, I don't remember doing it. So they must have been playing a drinking game where it's like, oh, call someone in your phone. And of course, they're going to pick me because I'm going to be the one that would answer.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you didn't.
no.
So overall, you think you could survive that game?
I think so.
Because there's sort of a few parts of it. There's the first part of like random girls calling. Like, can you survive that part? And then the second part, the reveal, like, no, it's actually my buddy. I just did that so you'd bring me my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Would you get smacked in the head?
I think.
Probably a little smack upside the head.
I would get
It'd
a
be
little-
deserved. All right.
What is this one? New job unlocked?
Yeah, new job unlocked, Josh.
New job unlocked.
Yeah. What do you think about this? A whole new way to do something.
Oh, wow.
Dude, right? Look at this.
Boom.
What a clean swing.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. That really gets you to, you have to hit that thing.
Yet also follow through is mandatory. Like, you know what I mean? Like you've got to let that momentum keep moving. There's no slowing that thing down.
No.
I mean,
And you got to be able to control it too, because if you keep going, like in your backswing, you could wrap it around you and still hit you. So you got to
but if you look, like it naturally turns the axe away from him. You know what I mean? Like it's only if done properly, I guess.
I bet you that kid's hitting 500 yards.
Oh, all
nukes.
day. This dude is bomb.comming down every fairway.
That is actually really cool.
Right?
I like that one.
I mean,
That one's sick.
they always talk about the best way to practice, these athletic movements is imagine doing it with heavier objects.
Yeah.
And right there, like it puts you in a lot of very natural positions. Someone's giving out coupon codes on here. Who cares? Whatever. It's
Oh
fine.
my God.
Yeah.
I don't even know what language that's in. All right, we got one more here.
All right. This one's called Sketchy Setup.
Sketchy setup.
Yeah. I love a good sketchy setup, but this guy's, look at this. All right. Go hit pause real quick. So he's got like some sort of like a blanket
Yeah, just a blanket.
hung over like some sort of like a clothesline or something. And then he's got like a tiny little mat right next to that row of like bricks.
And then the brick underneath it too.
Oh yeah. And like, if you look, like the row of bricks starts to like intersect across his hitting mat. So if he like hits over top of the ball, the club's going into that row of bricks. Like there's so much about this that is sketchy. Okay, go ahead.
What's going to happen here?
Little sound maybe.
Oh, that's terrible. You see, like he's off.
He's using like a log or a brick at the bottom to hold the bottom of the sheet down. Yeah, he's standing on like 3 different surfaces. He's got socks and flip-flops on. And just nukes it into his shin or his ankle or whatever that is. This person says, I was laughing before he even hit the ball.
Poor guy.
When you order Rory McIlroy off Temu.
Oh my God. That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever heard of Greenskeeper Revenge?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Have you seen this? This is on TikTok.
Oh.
Have you ever? I gotta play no sound because it's got copyrighted music, but like you could see hole in the bunker.
Yeah. Tools on the green.
Yeah, tools on the green.
Does he make this putt? That's impressive.
Almost.
Oh, great putt though.
Look at this one.
Oh, you've got to like take a certain route. Okay, like, you know, played properly could be helpful. Oh. Just not
Off
even
the
on
green.
the green.
Yeah,
That's
off the green.
diabolical.
Like
Sitting on the toilet though is brutal.
yeah. Like that's honestly a cool idea.
Yeah, that is fun. I've never played in one, but like every once in a while you'll see like a little advertisement coming around, like doing a Greenskeeper Revenge tournament, scramble, whatever. And I've always wanted to do it, but I never have.
Have you ever seen Jesus swimming?
What?
Have you ever seen
I
Jesus
thought he walked
swim?
on water. I didn't know he swam. Biblical reference.
Right here, he's trying to swim. I thought this was funny. You know, costumes. It's Halloween.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow will be. Oh, by the time this is up, it'll be Halloween.
Ooh, happy Halloween.
Yeah. So I wanted to show you this one.
Yeah, man. Jump on in the water's fine. I've been teaching the disciples all week. It's nice to actually take a break and have a little fun. Yeah. Cannonball!
Wait. That looked like it hurt a ton.
Your dad just let you swim? Really nailed that one!
What's that main dude's name? He has like a whole channel of like the
Jump
funniest
on in the
stuff
water.
ever.
Oh, I have no clue.
Is that Ross Creations or something? I can't remember whatever his name is. He did the best like pranks. Dude, that looked painful.
Yeah.
You ever seen those dudes that try and like jump through ice and it doesn't break? And so they
The
just
UFC fighter did that before he fought. I forgot what his name was. He was fighting O'Malley. He was Sean
Yeah.
O'Malley, and he tried to dive into water. He thought it was thin enough where he could just go right through. Busted his head open. Like he was messed up. But I got one more to show you.
All right, I'm ready. I like this.
So this person or this couple
Yeah.
didn't get the memo.
Uh-oh.
Did not get the memo. And this one is going to be no sound too because of music.
All right, no one told us it was a family-friendly Halloween party.
You know, kids dressed up as Pokemon. That's the couple right there. She's got a backwards shirt on. He's a door. So many parents are giving them weird looks.
Party's jamming. They got a lot of friends.
A lot of friends, a lot of food, a lot of sweets.
Yeah.
Costume reveal. First going back door.
Oh. At a kid's party?
Yeah.
No. Oh, no.
I think you see how many kids are running around there.
Yeah. That is way out of pocket.
Yeah, so all her clothes are reversed.
Yeah, she's the reverse cowgirl.
And he's the back door.
Damn. That's intense for a kid's party.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's very intense for a kid's party.
Oh, man. Well, on that note, happy Halloween to everybody. Hopefully you get lots of candy. You know what people should start giving out is like Pro V1s and golf tees.
Think so?
Yeah, would that be great? Like get kids on the right track here.
Yeah, that would
get them
be
into
great.
golf. All right, it's too late, so we'll have to pass this idea along for next year. But maybe we give out golf-related items moving forward in the future. I don't know. All right, Josh. I think that's it for now. You good?
Yep.
I'm good. All right, folks, we will see you next time right here on the Dance Golf World Pod.